Hello everybody and welcome back to Confetti Conversations. Welcome back to another podcast.
I've got the giggles now because I've been told off.
Oh, it's because she's making noises, silly
noises.
silly noises.
silly
I think we're both a bit outside, a bit silly.
I'm feeling a little bit silly in my
Feeling a bit
bones.
silly. Right, I'm gonna get comfy, so roll the intro.
Hello and welcome to Confetti Conversations.
The podcast where me and my sister talk all things weddings, wedding planning and married life. Is that the noisy intro, mate?
No. In my head I had EastEnders then, that's not our intro.
That's not our intro.
Okay.
Okay. This is going to be a long podcast.
Oh no, I'm hungry.
Okay. Short and sweet.
It could be moderate.
Short, sweet and cheap. Oh, dog moved the mic.
I would say a bit like me, but I'm not short or sweet, but I'm definitely cheap.
Get down. So.
Take that as you will.
Cheap shop. Anyway,
You
today.
said chip shop, that's how hungry I am.
Oh, I'd love a chippy. Anyway, right. I've tried to say this about 3 times. So, today we are talking all about ways to budget your wedding.
Yep.
Make things cheaper. There's loads of ways we could tell you to make it more expensive.
I could do such an expensive wedding.
Oh, me too. And I would love it. But then, saying that...
No, you like the DIY.
Yeah, I do really like the DIY. That's what I mean. Like, but you could buy more. No, actually, I don't think I would because I'm a bit of a cheapskate anyway.
Yeah.
And I think I'd be begrudged buying something that would cost me more than it needed to.
Yeah, whereas I'm like, have my money, take my money.
Yeah. So, budgeting. We're not going to talk about budgeting necessarily.
No, but
But we're going to talk about sort of ways, tips and tricks to make your wedding a little bit cheaper.
Yep.
So,
let's start from the very beginning.
well, there's lots of different ways to do it. And I think we talked briefly about things on our DIY episode.
Mm-hmm.
But DIYing, obviously, is a brilliant way to keep the budget down. But
Yeah.
you also don't have to be too cheap with DIYing.
No.
So for me, I found doing things like my flowers
Yeah.
was a really easy way to make things cheaper.
Yeah. Faux flowers are amazing.
Yeah.
And I look around every time we're doing a podcast and yours are amazing
Beautiful.
still.
Absolutely
They still look
beautiful.
incredible.
And like, I've nearly been married 2 years and my flowers are still...
You get to enjoy them every day.
Yeah. And I think that is one of the major benefits of faux flowers.
Yeah, that's one of them. I do also think the other one, on the complete flip side, is when you're done with them, you can sell them.
You can sell them or you can gift them.
Gift them, sell them. But obviously you can gift the real flowers, but the person you're gifting them to only has them for
Yeah.
X amount of days.
And a lot of the time, you know, with real bouquets, unfortunately, if you're getting married in the height of summer, they struggle.
Yeah, they might not last a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they've been, if it's a bridesmaid's bouquet that you're re-gifting, they've been bashed around, they've been
Photos.
photoed, they
Yeah.
get laid down, like they don't get looked after in the best way. Obviously 90% of people probably do look after their flowers really well after they've used them.
Yeah, but also I think a lot of people will think once we've done the photos, once we've done the ceremony, I don't need the flowers anymore. Whereas obviously for yourself, even though they were fake flowers, we use them as table centres.
And that to me is a massive way to save money.
100%.
I wasn't going to make a whole load of brand new table centres when I literally had them in people's hands.
Yeah.
Like, and to enjoy them, they looked perfect on the table.
Yeah.
Like, I was never going to redo it. So I definitely think having, like, you're reusing things as much as you can, moving things from the ceremony to the wedding breakfast, like having things in different spaces, reusing it on the night as well.
Yeah.
I think reusing things is a brilliant way to keep the cost down, even if you're, you know, if you are hiring things in and you're having a slightly higher budget wedding. maybe to keep some costs down, you just reuse a couple of bits.
Yeah, 100%.
So there's always ways, I think, to keep the prices down in all areas.
Yeah.
But flowers is a big one that I think you can keep the prices down on. Now, I'm not taking away from the skill of a florist.
The reason your flowers look so good is because you used to work in a florist.
Yeah, I learned from a florist.
Yeah.
So I learned how to create a shape, how to make things look good.
Fuller.
Yeah. And that is a skill, a
Oh,
massive
yeah.
skill. And it's not easy, but it is something that you can learn, and it is something that you can do. You can also, like, if there's something particular, you want a special bouquet for yourself, then get a florist to do that.
Yeah.
And then you can do the other bits,
Or like, you could have your florist do your bridal party flowers, and you could do DIY flowers, like decoration flowers. Like you could have them doing the tables, and you do the signage stuff.
Yeah.
It's harder to make it more cohesive because you don't know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But that is a good one. The other thing I've seen lots of is people growing their own flowers.
Yeah, that is amazing, but a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, a lot of work.
If you have somebody who grows flowers every year,
Yeah.
and they look amazing, and you know the timings, because flowers grow at different times of the year. Like, if you know the timings of when the flowers are going to be in bloom, like, for example, peonies, I'm pretty sure they bloom in, like, September.
Oh, no.
But I might be completely wrong there, but they don't bloom all year round. Yeah. So that's why a lot of the time when you have things like peonies, if you're having them out of season, they're most likely Dutch.
Yeah.
And they do sort of come at premium.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of, like, your crisp white roses come at a premium. And there's a place for those.
Yeah.
And I think that we could definitely do another podcast on, like, higher budget weddings, and sort of talking about the different, spending more essentially on things. There's definitely a place for, like, higher budget.
Yeah.
And we, we can talk about that in a different podcast, and I think we will.
Yeah.
But for the interest of looking at sort of the lower budget, I think DIY flowers are a massive part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, sorry, Kat, what were you going to say?
No, I was just thinking of other things I'm thinking of where you can save money, that's all.
Well, one for me would be a flower arch.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, still on flowers, yeah.
Well, yeah, staying in the sort of similar sort of theme. Yeah. So I love those big gold hoops that you can buy. And if you can buy one on Facebook Marketplace, I think my sister-in-law bought one from Facebook Marketplace, and it was beautiful, but it was like 50 quid. And I knew that I wanted 4 arches.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't spend £50 on every arch.
Yeah.
So I bought balloon arches and balloon circles.
They had water weights, didn't they, in the bottom?
Yeah, the balloon arches did, which were just white, and they were fine. They like just sat next to the marquee. Yeah. So there are ways of, if you're not going to see something, there's no point in spending a lot of money on it unless it has to be structurally sound.
Yeah.
Like mine were clipped to the marquee so they wouldn't fall down.
Yeah.
But if they have to be structurally sound, then yes, you can't scrimp on that because you don't want them to fall on people. But something that you can save money on, do save money on. Like, there's no need spending money. Like, for me, confetti.
Yeah, you made it.
I made my confetti. It cost me something like £2 for the book.
Yeah.
I already had the stamp, but the stamps aren't expensive. Under £10 on Amazon. And then the bags were probably, again, under £10. But to save money even more, you just put them in a basket.
Yeah, I'm doing a basket, and I have a really specific colour that look I want for my confetti shots, as long as I can get them, weather dependent, because we're only allowed to do it outside the church.
Yeah.
But I know what I want it to look like, so that's something where I know I'm going to have to spend more money on.
Yeah, and I think you need to outline what you need to spend more money on, don't you? You need to look at what you're willing to spend money on and what you're not willing to spend money on, and then go from there, really.
Yeah.
I think that's where, like, if like, I knew I wanted a specific photographer, and I wanted I wanted a videographer.
Yeah.
So I was going to have to cut corners in other areas to be able to afford those things.
Yeah.
And I think going into a wedding with a firm budget in mind, like I did have a firm budget when I went into it, and I referred back to it a lot. But then towards the end, you sort of do get a bit lax with it, and you do.
I think everyone said that to me.
Yeah. Because to begin with, I was tight on the budget, and everything was to the penny. Like, I was ordering things that were 50p cheaper because I was saving 50p, and 50p was, you know, a decent amount of money. It's in some respects. But then when you get to the end and it's like, I just need it, I'm just going to buy this.
Yeah, rather than you can't wait for the longer delivery, you need to do Amazon, so you pay the premium. Yeah, that makes sense. That's the point I don't want to get to.
Yeah.
Is where I'm having to not cut corners, but I have to pay the premium for the more expensive things to get them on time.
Yes.
Which we're trying to get done, aren't we?
Yeah. You need to sort of get those things in now, so that when it comes to it, and that's a perfect example. Plan ahead.
Yeah. One thing we talked about a while ago, though, didn't we, is don't do too much too early because you don't want to hate it.
Yes.
And I'm at that weird point now.
Is it too early? Is it not too early?
Can I just get it done?
Yeah.
My mindset for everything, isn't it, is just get it done.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily do it the correct way.
No.
I don't necessarily do it with the most finesse. And if I leave it too late, it will all look a bit naff.
Yeah.
Because I've just got it done.
You need the time to do it, and then sometimes mull it over.
Yeah. I also have the creative mind of a goldfish.
No, give yourself more credit than that. You are creative. You just
can't
don't
make it
always
happen.
know how to execute it.
So basically what I'm saying is if I don't have Phil's supervision, it doesn't happen. All the stuff I've made so far has been either FaceTime to you or a picture sent mid doing it, after doing it.
Yeah.
What do I need to do now?
Yeah.
But
call on creative friends and family. If you have friends and family that are creative,
I have you.
Call on them. But call on them to help with the bits that you want to do. Pinterest is your best friend. Instagram is your best friend. TikTok. You can find so many
Confetti
hacks.
Conversations TikTok.
Yeah.
It's just all because it's all bridal.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I flipping love it because I've just sat here whilst I've been waiting for you.
Oh,
going through, and then I'm like, oh god. Do you know, what I found overwhelming is I want to look at all the creative-y bits to get me motivated to do those things.
Yes.
All I keep seeing is all the hen do outfits and things, like all the money that people are spending on being a bride. And actually that's another point where you can save money.
Oh yeah.
You don't have to. You did, but you did it over a long time. You created this bridal wardrobe.
Yeah, and I got a lot from Vinted.
Yeah, harder to find for my size.
Yeah,
I've established.
Yeah, I'm sure. But it doesn't always have to be expensive items.
No, and I've seen loads of people, and it is that thing of getting influenced, isn't it? Loads of people with the Charlotte Mills dresses, which are so expensive. They're gorgeous, but they are so expensive. There's loads of them on Vinted because people wear them for their hen do.
Well, I sold my bridesmaid's dress on, not bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah,
my hen do dress on Vinted.
That was gorgeous.
And it was half price that the person paid for it, and she was over the moon, and she was wearing it for her hen do. Yeah. But there's some things you have to splurge on, and there are some things that you can save on. You don't need a full wedding wardrobe. You can use bits and bobs. You can make outfits with other things.
Mine is the accessories and stuff that I know I'll keep. And I did that TikTok of the different mood boards I'd done.
Yeah.
And that's my inspiration, and that's what I want my life to look like.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I've not actually found anything in white that I like.
No, and sometimes white's not your colour, so
it suits you with your darker hair.
Yeah, but sometimes I think be different.
Yeah.
Wear the colours that you're going to wear over and over again, because some of my hen do stuff I've never worn again.
Yeah.
I never will wear again. And yes, okay, I'll sell it.
Yeah.
But you don't make as much as you bought it for, ever. You'll never make as much as you bought it for. So, yeah, I think...
Doing spaniel.
Yeah, Cooper's just eating a sock on my lap, but he's being quiet, so there's nothing more I can do about that.
He's been swimming and he absolutely stinks.
Oh yeah, he does stink, but he's being very quiet, so...
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Yeah, so that was Hindu stuff. And what else was I thinking of on that one? Oh yeah, so I keep seeing the TikToks of all the Hindu stuff. And I'm like, that's not what I want to see, so I keep making sure I'm really looking at all the DIY stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of people get a lot of stuff from Temu and Shein.
There's a place for Shein in a wedding, personally.
Yeah.
I believe there is a place for Shein in a wedding.
As long as you're not using it in a disposable way.
Yes.
I'm not going out there to buy a load of crap that people aren't going to use again.
Yes.
Like, I love the idea of everyone having the white sunglasses with the Mr. and Mrs. Vise on.
Yeah.
Like, I love that idea. However, is anyone going to keep them forever?
No.
Except for me and Ellis.
Yeah.
I've already bought us separate ones.
Well,
for me
I
and
lost my white glasses.
him. I haven't. They're in my bedroom.
You found them? I know. I mean my hen party glasses.
Ah, I might have them too.
Because I was wearing them at the wedding.
I might have them too. I've got me and Ellis those kind of like just married.
And
ones.
I think that's something that you and Ellis will keep.
Oh, those hen party glasses I got you as a present for you.
Yeah.
Oh, they were really nice.
I know, because you bought them to the wedding for me.
Yeah.
And I wore them a lot. And then when I got home the next day, and when we unpacked the van, they were nowhere to be seen.
Oh, they must have been left in your room or something.
They could be literally anywhere.
Literally anywhere. Yeah. So that like all that kind of what does Charles Mom call it? Tut.
Yeah.
All the tut that you get for a wedding, all the bits and bobs.
Yeah.
Hindu.
Yeah.
Especially.
Yeah.
You don't have to. You also don't have to go and have a 5-day week in Marbella.
No.
You don't.
No.
A night out in your local town. My netball coach / friend, she's definitely friend first / coach.
Yeah.
Sorry, Flower. Her bridesmaids organised a night in the place we actually had our engagement party.
Yeah.
That's how I found it.
Yeah.
It's like a community room type thing. We got a DJ. We did loads of games because we're all netball players.
You love
a
a game.
So competitive.
Yeah.
It was literally all netballers. We played loads of games. We all had a drink. There was a nice little bar, but it meant everyone could be there.
I love it.
And she had the best time. She did go away as well, actually.
Yeah.
With a smaller group, but there was like 20 odd of us, 30 maybe, and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, if that was your only night, that is plenty.
Yeah.
You don't have to have 3 or 4.
No.
Because most of the time, as the bride, you don't pay for much of it. But that means your friends are absorbing that cost for you.
And it is expensive. Like, the whole being a guest at a wedding is expensive.
It's an honour.
Yeah. It is a massive honour. But there does come a price tag with it.
I'm already considering my life decisions for next May because I've got 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
but
think
then
2 might be in the same week, then not the same day. But I definitely think they might be the same week.
You'll have a great time.
Oh, I'll have the best time. Also, 2 of them are in the same friendship group, but the one isn't.
Yeah.
So the other one, I can wear one of the repeated dresses.
Perfect.
It's fine.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I'm all for repeating outfits.
Me too.
100%.
And I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I do it all the time
You
because
don't need a new
I've worn
House of CB dress for every event.
No, I have one dress that I've worn to multiple events.
Mm-hmm.
I have an outfit that I've worn to multiple events.
Shorts and crop top, not shorts, trousers
and crop
Love
top,
that.
and then I've got my blue graduation dress. Like if you have like classic, Mom says this to us all the time.
She's
if
right.
you have like a few classic pieces, like neither of these outfits cost me the world.
No, I've got that green ASOS dress that I've worn to a few weddings.
Yeah.
21st, different events, and I actually already thought I could wear that to one of those weddings next year.
Exactly.
So I love it. I love
exactly.
it.
And if you're happy with with how it looks, then enjoy it.
Yeah.
And like it being on a budget, it's not just like it's not just for the bride and groom.
No.
Like being a guest as well, don't feel the pressure to buy brand new outfits, like give gifts within your means, like nobody expects anything from you. Like I want to make weddings more accessible. Like that sounds crazy, but I think people shouldn't have to spend a fortune to go to somebody's wedding. Like I had a registry because we hadn't bought the house yet. Mm-hmm. And on that registry was a whole range of prices. Like I had a lot more expensive gifts, and some I was being cheeky when I put them on there.
I wish I looked at your registry when you had it up.
It's still on there.
No, but everything's been bought?
Yeah.
Oh, you can see everything?
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to have a nosy, because obviously I don't need anything. So I've had you bought your house just as you got married.
Yeah.
I've had mine for 8 years. Ellis has lived with me for 3, 2.5, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So we've had, like, we don't need stuff.
No.
We want to use it for a hen party. What are they called? Honeymoon. We want to use it for a honeymoon.
Yeah.
As and when that happens.
Yeah.
But again, if no one gives us anything, don't mind.
Well, no, and I think people always like to give a gift because it's like you feel sort of like you've been invited to somebody's special day, so it feels like a nice thing to do to
What do you
give
think
a gift.
the appropriate amount is to give?
I think it's within your means.
Yeah.
Like me and Sam, maybe we're a bit cheap, but we don't have a lot of spare cash, so we would do like £20 each.
Yeah.
Maybe 25, depending on how much of the wedding we've been involved with. Sometimes it's more depending on who it is. Like it does really depend, and where we're at in our finances, whether we can afford it or not. But I think we, as a base, will always do at least £20 each.
Me and Ellis have talked about it before. He went to a wedding the other day, and I think we say like 50 individually and 75 if we're like a couple.
Yeah.
Because the individual one is still from both of us.
Yeah.
But that, again, that's just what that was what talking about a wedding a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
If we had another one and we were a different financial situation, we might not be doing the same thing.
I think it depends on your financial situation. I think as a bride and groom, you're grateful for anything. I was grateful for anything that anybody gave me. I never felt, that I wanted... somebody didn't get me, this, or somebody got me that. Like, I never expected a penny from anybody. I was grateful for every gift I had. Yeah. And, we had a lot of John Lewis vouchers, which is what we asked for, because we wanted to buy a fridge and a washing machine. Yeah. And we managed to pay for both of those completely.
So good.
And we were so lucky. But, it's completely part of your financial situation and where you can sit. I think, God, this is turning into more of a talk about money episode, but I quite like that. It's not necessarily about budgeting, it's about how money affects your wedding.
And things.
Yeah. Because if you don't have the money, don't stretch yourself, because your wedding day is still going to be just as special, because you're marrying the person that you love, and having, the most extravagant items at your wedding is not going to change it. Yeah. And I think personally, for me, having a wedding that's personal is better than having a wedding that is expensive.
Yeah, I agree.
One really cheap way that I added quite a lot of personality to our wedding is, as we all know, I love a photo frame. I have a lot of photo frames, and I'm
surrounded by them.
I gathered a load of my photo frames, and I put in some of my favourite pictures of me and Sam over the years, and it just filled the room with just us.
Do you know what? I might steal some photos. You've got like a whole cupboard full, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
I might do the same thing.
It's a good idea. One sec, I'm just going to alter the lighting because I feel like we're really dark. That's better. You can actually see us now. It was not too bad when we started filming, but then it's just gone really dark.
It's made me feel really cosy. I know we've had a really nice few weeks.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm quite looking forward because I'm so tired just going home and being cosy.
Yeah.
I've got Wedmin to do.
Love it.
I need to do some doing soon, but yeah.
I have more time now, so I can help.
Yeah, I've got a meeting with our wedding coordinator.
When's that? 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's exciting.
I know. And
that's really exciting.
We've got to fill out the bits that we want.
So for going into that, then you probably need to think
costing.
Yeah.
Because it's what drinks package do you want? I think I can't remember. I haven't really read it.
So then, in that respect, because I know that drinks and entertainment and party is important to you.
Yeah.
You need to go in thinking, well, the decorations have cost me this much, and there's this much left of the budget to do those things.
Yeah. That's it.
So, that is a clever way of doing it. Like Beth and Georgie say all the time, what is the most important thing to you?
Yeah.
I think to me, the way
They're
the
like
room
my
looked...
gurus.
Yeah.
I literally, I think, you know, like those What Would Jesus Do?
Yeah.
Bracelets. I need a What Would Beth and Georgie Do?
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't listen, needs to listen to The Unfiltered Bride as well.
Oh, yeah.
They're hilarious.
Yeah.
They're so nice.
Yeah.
I've met them twice and you've
Yeah.
met them once, and they're just so lovely.
Yeah.
And
they're both professionals.
they're professional. Yeah. We are
amateurs.
we are wedding planning.
We're just
for
doing
me.
our own wedding planning. Like, we are DIY brides. I think,
Yeah.
you know, there's not many podcasts. There's not many wedding podcasts, really. A lot of people who do weddings are either like couples or, you know, professionals.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of sort of podcasters in the wedding space that are just people getting married.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we are by no means professionals, and we know that.
Mm-hmm.
We know that. But we love weddings, and I think we'll
Yeah.
still want to be talking about weddings for years to come.
I've got so many next year that I'm so excited.
But that's the thing.
I'm excited for my wedding this year.
Yeah.
But I've got one as a guest this year.
Yeah.
One as a guest on mine. I thought I had more than that.
You're my only wedding this year.
But they come in waves.
Well, mine are gonna...
I've got 4 next year already.
You're in the era now where all of your friends are getting married.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of years yet
Yeah.
until that happens to me.
Yeah, 4 next year. I'm so excited.
I just love a wedding. I just love going to a wedding.
And me.
And I love seeing what other people do and different wedding venues and spaces and how people...
And just spending time with your friends. Like,
Oh, yeah,
it's
of
like
course.
a day where we all get dressed up. We're not like in our slobs on the sofa.
Yeah, we spend 90% of our time in our slobs, so...
Yeah. If I'm not in work uniform, I'm in gym clothes or riding clothes.
Yeah.
I have some nice clothes, but actually when I try and get dressed now, I don't actually know what to wear.
Well, I went to Cardiff for work last week, and honestly, finding anything to wear was nigh on impossible.
Yeah.
I've had to update my entire wardrobe just for 1 week in Cardiff, because I had nothing. I had nothing that I could wear.
Crazy.
I wore 90% new clothes in
Crazy.
Cardiff.
I thought of another thing
Go
for keeping costs down.
Go on.
Second-hand wedding dresses.
Yes. Yes.
We have both been very fortunate that ours were both gifts to us.
Yeah.
So it didn't need to be included in the budget, even though I put it in.
I
To take
did.
it out.
I put it in my budget initially.
Yeah.
Because
I didn't know.
Well, when I did my budget, Dad wanted to see the budget, and he wanted, because he had no idea how much a wedding would cost.
Yeah,
like, why
they're
would
much
he?
more relaxed with me.
Yeah.
Because they know what it costs with you.
Yeah, so I did a whole wedding budget, and then Dad decided, basically Dad picked out the things that he was happy to pay for, and he then gave me, we're both really lucky, both my parents and Sam's parents, and both our parents and Ellis's parents have contributed to our weddings. So we know
Extremely
how
fortunate
fortunate we've been to have money gifted to us. But yeah, Dad wanted to look at the budget and then see how much money, basically what he was willing to pay for.
Yeah.
And then he then gave me a figure, and then I gave that budget also to Sam's parents, who then again looked at what they were willing to pay for, and then they gave me a figure as well. So, like, I was very lucky, and because we were being gifted money, we were open about what we were spending our money on, and you know, we were then also they both had a table of friends, because
we offered that, and Jenny and Neil decided not to take us up on it.
Yeah.
But the offer was there.
Yeah. Well,
they're very close to their family.
Yeah.
Obviously we are too, but
Sam's mum and dad didn't have a full table like mum and dad did, but they invited the people that they wanted there, and then they both invited evening guests. Like, I was quite relaxed with my with who was invited. Like, I wasn't, you know, I invited my friends' partners who I have met once, maybe twice. Like, I was quite relaxed because I wanted it to be, and I was in the lucky position that I could afford it because of the food that I'd chosen, but also that I actually didn't have like a massive guest list.
No.
Like, it wasn't huge, so I could add on those additionals, whereas your guest list is already, without any additionals, a lot bigger than mine.
Yeah.
So
that simply, the simple reason for that is we both play team sports.
yeah.
That's where our biggest numbers.
Yeah.
Because the family sizes are similar, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, completely.
Obviously ours is the same.
Yeah.
But friendship groups wise,
Yeah.
we automatically, whereas you've got your different friendship groups that are smaller.
Yeah.
As soon as you add netball teams in,
Yeah.
and I
of
play
course.
in 2 different ones,
Yeah.
that's like 15, 16 people
Yeah.
that you do want there.
Yeah.
And Ellis plays rugby, so that's 20 odd people that he wants there.
Yeah, of course.
And cricket.
And having those people there means more than the little bits and bobs.
100%, and that's the difference. I won't have as much decoration as Phil.
But then you've chosen a venue where you don't need as much
On purpose.
decoration.
On purpose, because
like in terms of
I
pricing, our
fit in
venues,
everything you've done. There's not enough space.
our venues on pricing are not too dissimilar.
No.
Yours is maybe slightly more expensive than mine, but it's not miles away from it.
No.
So like I had the money for the bits, but then I also chose much cheaper food, which then means that I could invite more people and I could have more bits.
Yep.
So it depends what's important to you. Decor was important to me, and food was not as important to me. Like, yes, okay, I wanted nice food and I wanted everyone to be well fed, but I knew that by choosing a good wedding caterer, you would get that.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, it wasn't, the pricing of the food was very cheap in reality. So, yeah.
Okay, back to where we started though.
Okay.
Second-hand wedding dress.
Sorry, yeah.
We both went on a complete tangent.
Yeah, I don't even know how we got there.
We'll have to
Oh,
listen
we're
back.
talking about gifting money.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah.
So yeah, second-hand wedding dresses.
Yeah.
Do you follow Bronte King?
Yes.
So she is doing an abroad ceremony.
Yes.
And she's also doing a legal one in the UK.
Yeah.
And was looking for a dress, and I saw she went to it's an actual bridal shop, but all second-hand or
Amazing.
vintage. So just, if you're thinking of that sustainability point of view, if you're thinking of that cost-saving point of view, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm on a few Facebook groups for like vintage brides or vintage weddings, and there's a few different ones, and there's loads of people that are selling their dresses. Some of them are brand new.
Yeah.
They just decided they didn't like the dress.
Yeah.
Or they've decided not to get married.
Yeah.
Or they've decided they're going to go abroad, so the one they've chosen isn't appropriate.
Yeah.
So there's loads of them.
Yeah. I mean, I could never sell my dress.
I just want to sit in mine all the time.
I know.
I'm actually getting to the point where it's been about, 2 months since I came in? 2 or 3 months?
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking of calling them and being like, can I just come and put it on again? Because
Yeah.
they said I could.
Yeah. I don't blame
I think
you.
I'm going to call my hairdresser and say, let's do a hair practice.
And then go.
And then go there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I am tempted, if my wedding dress wasn't under a pile of other things because my rail fell down, I'm not bitter about it.
She's so mad about it. She brings it up all the time.
I cried when it fell down. So I had a rail. I'd just got my house to where I wanted to be, and the last piece was I got this rail put up in my spare bedroom.
It was the straw that broke the donkey's back.
Yeah, and it absolutely, it's the camel's back, not the donkey's back.
You're a donkey.
Savage. Okay.
No, sorry, straw that broke the camel's back. I
Yeah.
actually know that, but that sounded really funny.
Yeah, that was. Anyway.
Your turn next.
Yeah.
I keep treading on Cooper because he's like right under my feet. I just sit like this.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
No. He likes to be under your feet. If we had a blanket on, he'd be under the blanket.
I feel like I'm...
Yeah.
Anyway.
But, yeah, my rail fell down because I put a coat on it, like the last coat, and it literally pulled out of the wall.
Dandelion.
The last dandelion, indeed. And I was devastated. For probably about 2 months, I left the pile scrumpled up because I was so upset. I couldn't even go in that room for like 2 days.
I love that you say scrumpled.
Scrumpled? What do you say?
Crumpled. But you always
I've always said scrumpled.
Scrunched and crumpled. You always do it, so you say scrumpled. And I love it. I don't think scrumpled's a real word.
No, it probably isn't, but I like it.
I like scrumpled.
Scrumpled.
Anyway, you wouldn't want her second-hand wedding dress because it's scrumpled.
It is very scrumpled. But now, I eventually moved the stuff because it started to get like, come on, put your big girl pants on and move it. I moved it and it's now underneath a load of other stuff, but I'm desperate to try it on. And you know what the best bit is trying your veil back on.
Yeah.
Because that's so bridal.
Yeah.
Like a dress, it is a dress. Like
I'm tempted to have your veil as my something borrowed.
That's cute.
because I really like yours.
Yeah, mine was just like, mine was from Etsy because I very last minute decided that I wanted one because I was never going to have one. And then I tried one on when I went for my wedding fitting, my dress fitting. And I was like, it just makes you feel so bridal. Like, if anything makes you feel bridal, it is a veil. It is a veil. So I would recommend get the veil. And you don't have to spend a fortune because the ones from the wedding shops are like over £100.
I don't understand why.
And yes, they are stunning, don't get me wrong, but you can buy incredible... I think mine cost me £30 and it was a cathedral length
it's amazing.
veil. It was plain because my dress was detailed, so I didn't want to cover anything up.
That's what I'm thinking.
But honestly, I loved it and it made me feel so bridal. And I like, there's a photo of me and Sam
photos,
like in the lich gate and someone's holding up my veil and it's just beautiful.
That would be me.
Yeah. I just love it, and it does make you feel bridal. But
we've got a really good photo of us tangled. Oh, it's our thingy.
Yeah, the photo of our YouTube thumbnails.
Yeah,
that's us tangled in my veil. But like, you can make things like veils cheaper. If you buy a more expensive dress, you can bring the cost down with everything else. Like my headpiece was Mom's, so I didn't pay anything for that. My earrings were from Etsy. Sam bought me my necklace. You bought me my bracelet. What else did I have on? My shoes were from Shein because I knew I wasn't going to wear them again. And I didn't want expensive shoes that would get ruined.
My current options of my wedding shoes are actually from Primark.
But if you love them...
Yeah.
Like, what does it matter?
And they will go with the dress so well.
Exactly. My point is if you're comfortable and they look good. Mine just had like a satin sort of piece across the toe, and that's all you could see of them. They like had pearls around the ankle, but you couldn't really see that. And they did get destroyed, and I've still got them, but they did get destroyed, and I'll never wear them again.
They're my other option. I think because I really wanted them in a different colour. I wanted to have like that statement shoe,
which does look amazing,
but I can't get them in the colour I want. They don't exist.
Right.
You can buy them from other like Etsy. I think I sent you the Etsy ones,
but they're
like 150 quid.
Yeah, which then means you have to look after them
and you have to be able to wear them again.
Yeah.
Whereas I want outdoorsy photos, and it could be raining.
Yeah.
We live in England.
Yeah, and like for me, it did rain from start to finish.
Yeah.
And I just went with it and just accepted, like, my veil, if my veil got ruined, it got ruined. It didn't. It was perfectly fine. My dress got dry cleaned and it was fine. Like, obviously I'd have been devastated if my dress got ruined, but at the same time, I wanted to enjoy myself.
Yeah, that's what I think, and that's exactly what I want for my day.
And that's then where I feel about things, like, things may get broken. Like, my vases for my table centres all came from Facebook Marketplace. They were second hand, and when I searched them, because they came in the brand of the box, they were like 20 quid a vase, and I think I paid 50 quid for 12 vases.
All of my vases came from, weirdly, we didn't even know, someone that we know.
From their wedding.
I was like, oh, these are amazing, and then I realised afterwards that I knew who I was buying them from. She'd spent ages getting them all from charity shops.
Well, I did charity shops for my candlesticks.
Yeah. So she did candlesticks as well, but I decided I don't think I want candlesticks.
No.
But yeah.
I mean, I've got plenty if you need them.
All my
still
vases.
Here.
Yeah, exactly. All my vases look amazing. And she sorted them all for me.
But that's the thing, and like somebody bought my bouquets, buttonholes, everything, lock, stock and barrel, loads of my signage.
Yeah.
Like she literally bought nearly all of my wedding. She wanted my top table arrangement, but I was like, no, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not getting rid of that one. But she made it out of other arrangements, so she got the same look, but with other arrangements that I'd made, and then she sold it on. So I know it's now on to its third wedding.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Which, like, sustainability wise, is incredible. And for those two brides, they've saved a fortune. I didn't even pay that much, but for me, the sort of stipulation of buying these things was that they had to be sold on afterwards.
Yeah.
That's how we bought the dog, is by selling all of the wedding stuff.
Yeah.
That was the money that we made.
There's a couple of things that I know I want us to make, that I know I want to keep.
Yes.
Already. We haven't even made it yet.
There's some things that are personal. Like, I was never going to sell my bouquet.
No, like my bouquet, a few of the other arrangements. But like we're also making some garden games.
Yeah.
And because it doesn't matter if we don't use them, because I'll stay in the garage and we'll use them for family parties forever.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of me getting them.
Yeah. And
I say that I need to find a video of how to make them and give it to Ellis to be like, you need to do this.
Yeah, but he'll do it. He'll do it in his own Ellis way, but he will do it.
Oh yeah, and they'll be done very well actually.
Yeah, he is good at stuff like that.
Yeah.
He is good at stuff like that. But yeah, there's always ways, isn't there, of saving money. And you know, a lot of my stuff, like I've said previously, it was earmarked to be in the house. It was going to be sold. Some of it I still have that eventually probably will be sold. But I think if you know you're going to reuse things, then that money is... It's sort of... Like, for example, my wedding bouquet, I see it every day. So to me, it costs me nothing. Because the use... Yeah, the use out of it. But then even if even if you're not going to sell anything afterwards, or you're not thinking about making the money afterwards, there's so many ways to keep the costs down. Charity shops, Facebook Marketplace, Vintage.
Yeah.
I spent hours scrolling through those places, finding bits and bobs, and like every chance I got, I was down at the charity shops. Like we've got like 10 in our town centre, and I'd do like a route around all of them. Like on my lunch break, that would be my walk. Was to go down, because at the time I lived in well, I basically still do, but like then I was very, very close. And I'd walk this route all, round the mall, and every day I'd come back with something new. And Sam was like, another thing. And I was like, no, but, this one's good for this and this one's good for that. Yeah. And there's some things that are unavoidable. Yeah, some things you have to spend the money on.
Yeah.
But, like, a lot of it, you can save.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sure we will come back to this stuff again.
Oh, yeah. I think this has been a bit wishy-washy, just us chatting about...
Yeah, but I like a bit of a chit-chat.
Yeah, I do. I really want to have like...
We've also been apart for a week. We spent Saturday night... We've had a couple of evenings together, but we see each other every morning
day,
and chat all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas Phil's been working away.
Yeah.
So, and even today and tomorrow I'm not seeing you in the morning. We didn't do the horse together over the weekend, really.
No.
So we haven't seen each other, so that's actually what we've just done.
So for the next 6 weeks, this is what it's going to be like, because I'm not really around.
No.
Massively for the next 6 weeks. So you're just going to get loads of chatty catch-ups. Well, I've got to earn a living.
Well, I suppose. I'd prefer it if you kept your house.
I mean, it would be ideal. It's where we film.
Yeah, where am I going to podcast if I can't come here?
Well, yours, because that's where we started.
It's definitely better here.
Just the sound's better here. I mean, the mics help.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
There's loads.
There is loads, yeah. There is loads. But I hope that's sort of helpful of different things that we've done, if you manage to stay along with us, because I'm not
sure where we went.
It's a headache to listen to. But I do really want to have just a big catch-up chat about your wedding and everything. But there's so much that we don't want to divulge yet.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to ruin it. We want your guests to be surprised. So, yeah, we're not going to do a catch-up yet. That probably won't be until after the wedding, to be perfectly honest with you. Or if there's some things, that you think we'll chat about. But for the time being, we're just sort of going through what's going on, really, and what we're up to, and any tips and tricks we think of along the way.
Yep.
But I think that's probably enough of our voices for one day.
Yeah.
Wow, she really wants to be here, guys. You're so lucky.
I've got loads of stuff I want to think of, and I'm like, we need to do another one this week whilst it's fresh.
Yeah, we will.
Okay.
I think next time we talk about ways to make your wedding a bit more bougie.
I can do that.
Yeah. Okay then. Well, it's been...
Bougie weddings. Bougie
weddings is your next one. So it's been a long time since we've promised you an episode.
We'll need to write it down because we'll forget what we said.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll see you next week for bougie weddings.
My face.
Gosh. On that note, for now, I'm Philippa.
I'm Hayley.
This was Confetti Conversations, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.